Hello, and welcome to our new postdoctoral scholars. My name is Caitlin Lochran, and I'm a case manager for postdocs and graduate students within the UCLA Graduate Division. In this presentation, I hope to provide an overview of some of the many resources and supports available to you as a postdoc at UCLA. I also plan to review a little bit more about my role as a case manager and how I can be of support to you. And lastly, I'll review some campus response resources for UCLA community members who may be in distress. So one of the benefits of joining the UCLA community is that it is so rich with resources and opportunities, including even now in this mostly remote space. Oftentimes, I think we find postdocs may be uncertain or unsure about which resources are open to them, as they're sometimes in this kind of in-between category at times of scholar and staff member. So I hope this presentation will give you a good idea of what is out there for you. So first up, university housing. So postdocs are eligible to reside in university apartments and family housing. However, you would not be guaranteed a space. You're eligible after the demand from the graduate and professional students has been met. So to apply for university housing, you need to complete an online application. There's a non-refundable application fee. You need to be a current postdoc with a university ID. So once you have your ID, you can go ahead and fill out that application. And Housing Services also requires a copy of your postdoctoral scholar appointments and services notice of appointment on UCLA letterhead. So the links below here have more information about UCLA housing, university and family apartments, as well as very up-to-date COVID-19 related information about their processes and how that might have been affected during this time. As a reminder, you'll get these slides after the presentation, so you should be able to get these links that way as well. So next, childcare resources. So for our postdocs who may have children or are expecting, we have the UCLA Early Childhood Education Program. At the link here, you'll find more information about the UCLA affiliated childcare resources. The website has updates related to applications and new processes due to COVID-19. For programs that have an application process, you can still join the applicant pools of those programs. The process might just look a little bit different and is abiding to the public health guidelines at this time. They also have information and resources about both in-person and virtual bubble supports for parenting postdocs and staff, as well as information about resources in the community. So resources that may not be specific to UCLA, but in the general area. Next, we also have a program called the UCLA Students with Dependents Program. So this is one of those times where student is in the name, so there may be some confusion if this applies to you. So the Students with Dependents Program does have information and community referral resource lists that are open to anyone. So if you're interested, I encourage you to take a look at their website and specifically take a look at their community resource list, which is being up to date with UCLA area childcare and preschool programs. So while we're largely in this remote environment, I also wanted to provide some information about resources for tech support and getting started setting up your workspace and how that might look. So first, we have a program called the UCLA Ergonomics Program. So they are offering support for optimizing your workspace. And they have resources on their website and guidebooks, or guide worksheets really, about how to adapt almost any kind of space you can think of and utilizing materials you might have at home to make your space more ergonomic and more comfortable and also just safe physically. They also offer training and consultation. So they do individualized home workspace evaluations virtually. So they can help you take a look at your space and give suggestions to make it more supportive for, your back or at the proper heights, all of that kind of thing. The Employee Disability Management Services Office. This is within UCLA's Insurance and Risk Management Office. And so this would be the place to go if you are in need of any kind of reasonable accommodation due to a disability in order to perform the functions of your job. So if you have questions about that, the website here has good information about the steps to take and the process for requesting an accommodation related to a disability. Lastly, we have the UCLA IT Support Center. I believe they are still offering 24/7 support. They offer help. I think this is important to note too, as you're getting set up with all of the various online platforms and systems that come with being a member of the UCLA community. They can help with transitioning to those platforms, setting up Zoom security features if you have questions about that, and really any kind of IT related support. So some staff resources. So as a postdoctoral scholar, you're also a member of the UCLA staff. So you're entitled to many of the resources that any UCLA staff member would be. So I've listed a few here, but also at the top, I listed a couple of important links with information where staff and faculty are getting updates related to COVID-19 and public health, any changes related to campus. So I encourage you to take a look at those links there, including UCLA's Twitter feed, which all of these are updated continually. There's also a link here for the administrative services updates that have up-to-date information about all campus supports, resources, offices, and what their current status is and how best to reach someone there. Some of these resources may look a little different now in the remote space, but I did want to mention them so that you were aware of these benefits. So we have the Faculty Center on campus. That is a physical space where they have food available, dining services, rooms available for meetings, workshops, and as a postdoc, you are eligible for membership to the Faculty Center. You also will get your Bruin card and are entitled to those same services. So when we are more fully back on campus, you can utilize that almost like a debit card sort of on campus for on-campus eateries, shops, load it with your money and use that at the local kind of eateries there. There's also a number of employee services and discounts at the link here. I encourage you to take a look at that. A lot of the time it's discounts on events, tickets to events, parks in the local area, I think Disneyland. So take a look at that, as well as resources for international scholars through DashU for any of our international postdocs. So next I'm going to cover a couple of different health and wellness resources. I like to highlight these because there's such a wealth of health and wellness resources on UCLA's campus. A lot of this is largely due to the Healthy Campus Initiative, which has really expanded and enhanced these services available to not just students, but also faculty and staff. So there are a few that are specific to faculty and staff, a few that are open to everyone. So I'll review a little bit of these. So their UCLA Rec Center, they're currently offering live virtual fitness classes. This includes really the gamut: yoga, self-defense, HIIT classes, yoga for kids and toddlers. So I encourage you to take a look at that and look at membership for staff for the group exercise programs. There's also a program called Bruin MindFit for staff and faculty. And essentially what this is they're offering currently 2 modules that are 4 weeks long each. One is for mindfulness and resilience. The other is for stress reduction. And they also have a number of recorded guided mindfulness exercises as well. MoveMail is really kind of cool. If you sign up for MoveMail, essentially they'll email you twice a day at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. And it's really a good reminder to get up and stretch. And they have live and recorded exercises that take just a couple minutes. So I know a lot of us, myself included, in this kind of unique time, I think it's easy to kind of really hone in and focus on your work and forget to get up and stretch, forget to get some water. So honestly, if you are kind of glued to your email for most of the day, and that's a good way to remind you, I definitely encourage you to sign up for MoveMail. There are also programs called Fit Zones and Fit Breaks for staff and faculty. So these are additional ways to break up your day. They have short exercises for staff and faculty, kind of warming up for the work day, as well as breaking up the day and reminding you to stretch, move, use your body, work your muscles. So some more health and wellness resources. So next I'll highlight as well the Staff and Faculty Counseling Center. So as a postdoc, this is available to you and to your family. They offer counseling support that is free, voluntary, to you and your family members. They also offer a number of different other programs like management consultation, coaching, work-life balance type programs, support groups. They can also assist you if you need assistance with finding community providers. So while their services are free, I believe there are limits to the number of sessions per presenting issue that you're going to them with. So if there is a need for more ongoing support, they are there to support you and help you with finding providers, within your network or within your community, however that might look. We also are really lucky to have the Mindfulness Awareness Research Center, otherwise known as MARC, on campus at UCLA. When we are in person, they're often offering drop-in meditations, workshops, retreats, and they've moved a lot of that to this virtual space. So I encourage you to take a look. They have a lot of recorded guided meditations. They have a free app called I think, UCLA Mindful, where there's additional guided meditations that are free to use from your smartphone, wherever you are. The UCLA Rise Center is a physical space on campus, but another now virtual hub of information with additional health and wellness programming, as well as groups that meet and discuss current events, discuss mindfulness, meditation. They offer yoga. They offer a number of different programs, and they have a pretty extensive calendar throughout the year. With some of their programs, it will usually say if it's specifically open to staff and faculty, which would include postdocs. But if you're ever unsure about that, what I always encourage is to send an email to the organizer just to double check if it's not clear. The UCLA Healthy Campus Initiative kind of covered that a little bit before, but essentially the initiative started in 2013 with the goal to build this culture of health and a foundation at UCLA for a more resilient, equitable, and thriving community. So a lot of information about their work, workshops, and really their reach across campus is available on their website. So I encourage you to take a look at that.